And so the mom is in the kitchen and she spills something. And she tells her little boy to go out on the porch and to get a broom. He says, "Mommy, it's too dark out there, I'm afraid. I'm too scared. Mommy, I'm too afraid." And she said, "Well, God's out there." So he opens the door and he says, "God, if you're out there, will you bring me the broom?" I find that in my own evolution. I find that in my own experience from time to time when I am in this space of I am asking God to do something, and I go back to this older paradigm of a God that I was taught when I was a little girl. I don't know if you ever do that, but I go back to this older paradigm of a God that says I need to beg or plead or make amends or bargain or whatever that is and say, "Would you please do something for me that today I seemingly and unwilling to do for myself?" Do you resonate with that? Because there is no power in the world creatively that can do for us what we're unwilling to do for ourselves. It is we that must allow the great resurrection to occur. And I have news for you. The resurrection is not just in April or sometimes later or maybe in March. It's every week of your life that you resurrect from an old identity of yourself and you make yourself new and whole, living in the presence of pure being. There is only that one presence and power, but it expresses itself in this world, in this community, on this planet by means of each and every one of us individuating our own understanding of what that looks like, you see. It is we who are here to discover what Jesus said all along, that once you understand that it is Spirit through you, you got it because you allow it. I know I've said this before, so please don't remind me that I did. I know I did. I may have even said it 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. I'm just channeling today. I was famous one time in my life, very famous. So when people say I'm trying to be famous, that always tickles me because I'm like, I've been there. It's way overrated, by the way. Every trooper in the state of South Carolina knew me. All the jails knew my first and last name in the years that I drank. Never really got it down. You understand that? I mean, I tried, but I never was able to figure that out. But it was through the sponge of unity. It was through the teaching of the basics that said God is all there is, and therefore you are all of God. Now, I had a thick sponge. I don't know about you. I had a thick sponge, so I had to hear that message for many, many years before it started to sink in. Are you with me? But I had to hear that. I had to hear that message over and over and over again. But when we had to show up at the courthouse, and my parents were there, and some of my family, and the trooper told the judge that he had found me and my car on a road that wasn't a road. And that when he asked me who I was, I said, "I don't know who I am." I was on a road that wasn't a road. And when he asked me my name, I said, "I don't know who I am." I will never forget that. And I'm asking you to search that today in your own heart. Because if you are not on a road that is your road, then you are not being who you are. If you are not on the road that is your road, of what you believe, of what you know to be true, then your I am is not fully activated in the Spirit that lives and moves and has its being within you. And it's so important to integrate this in your life. It's so important to understand this. I was speaking at Unity of Santa Barbara, and a guy said, "You reminded me I'm not on my road. I've been having heart issues. But the reason I feel I've been having heart issues is because I was copying what happened to my dad. And I had it figured out that at 72, this happened to my dad." He said, "So I've been going to the doctor trying to prevent it from happening to me, and it's not even my road." When you are on a road that is not your road, the I am cannot fully be actualized in your life. And what does that look like to you and in the experience of who you are? I love the 4 stages that we call connecting with God. One is to me, the other is for me, the other is in me, and the other is as me. I was taught what God does to me. If I'm good, if I'm bad, if I remember to say my prayer at night, if I didn't do anything odd, that was odd for a Southern Baptist, which meant everything I was doing was really wrong. And so I was taught that God does things to me because of that. And we train children very well, that very thing, because if you don't do certain things, if you don't ask correctly, if you don't do things well, then Santa Claus is not coming. Because Santa's going to do it to you too. You're either going to get good presents or you're not going to get any. So we train these authority figures, yes we do, to our children, the tooth fairy. I mean, we have got to grow up and teach karma and consequences to children and just teach consequences. You can have this or you can have that. Which one do you pick? Or you might be able to have all 3 if you're, well, I won't go on that subject anyway. I could get in trouble going over there. Anyhow, God and to me. And we must get rid of that God is doing something to us. To us. I feel that in this culture and in this world right now, that even people who knew better went back to that old paradigm. Why is this happening to us? Why is this COVID happening to us? It's a conspiracy. No, it's real. No, it's happening. No, it's how. Why is this on the collective happening to us? And as it says in Scripture, to those who are given much, much is held. They are held accountable for that. So if you are a spiritual being immersed in spiritual law, if you are on the right road, if you are listening to your I am, and you went into temporary anesthesia and started thinking that God has done this to us as a culture, then what it meant is you started attracting other things in your life that started happening to you as well. Can I get an amen on that? Things didn't work out that you thought would work out. The neighbors are now against you. People at church are talking about you. Whatever. You understand? Because you pulled in that energy that something's happening to me. And that is not the space that we live in. Our consciousness of unity, when we are back at the basics, is that God is the only power that it is. It expresses through me. And I pray and meditate and I align with that core being and live my life accordingly. Yes? It's likened to the man that he's leaving for work. He has a flat tire. Didn't check his pressure, obviously. But he's going to work, has a flat tire, gets to the office. They said, "You're late yet again, and we're letting you go." And so then he drives home, and his house is on fire. And so he just is standing there. Somebody had taken him home because I remembered he had flat tires. Okay, so somebody's thinking that, so stop, okay? I'm psychic, I hear you. Just stop it, okay? So anyway, so he had Uber take him home. And the house is, it's burning down. And so, he goes, he gets out of the car and he goes, "God, just what is it? What is your problem?" And the clouds parted, and God said, "I don't know, Joe, there's just something about you that I've never liked." So we move from a to me phase, yes, to a for me phase. God is for me. Say that. God is for me. What happens in my life is for me. What occurs in my experience is to draw me out. I am open. God is for me. Life is for me. The Creator is for me. My friends are for me. The experience is for me. And those are the windows and the eyes in which you see your life. I had the calling at 5. And when I was 13 and a half, my cousin, who also had the minister calling, he announced it to his church, going down the road to celebrate, to get a pizza with his buddies. Someone ran a traffic light, killed him right there on the spot. I said, God, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to us? Why did you do that to him? You know? For many years I carried that. I was afraid to become 17. Because, when you're a teenager, everything's about you. Hopefully all of you have outgrown that now, but when you're a teenager, everything's about you. And then later on in ministry, as I was studying the ministry, because I didn't let it stop me. But for the longest time, I wanted to drink, I wanted to smoke, because I didn't want to be good, because good people die young. They even had songs about it, right? I didn't want to die. So I kept messing up, and I kept doing things and sabotaging my life because I didn't want to die, until I realized I was dying on another level. I was dying not being me. I was dying being on the wrong road, and I didn't know who I was, you see. So I might as well live and do what the road says I'm supposed to be doing. And my love minister in Birmingham, Alabama, she died when she was young. And I've carried them with me my whole path of my life in ministry. I've carried them with me. And this morning, I was over at this other community, and they started playing, "There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place." And I know that it's the Spirit of the Lord. And I just had a resurrection. Because I heard Bruce and Beverly, I heard their voices. I heard them tell me, "Change your mind, sweetheart. You have been carrying the torch for us. Change your mind. God is for you. God is for us. God is for life." And as you're moving forward in your universal field, you will always receive the gifts if your heart is open, yes? If your heart is ready, it is there for you and for the taking. But it's learning to change those stories that you carry in your heart. It's learning to change those stories. It's time to wake up. It's time to live full out again. It's time to show people in this teaching that you are more because of what you've gone through, not less. That you are brave, not weakened. And that you have this experience that we call life. And in the basics, we say that there is spiritual law, but there is also spiritual love. And those are the two strongest components. You can go to class till the cows come home about changing your thinking, but if you don't have an open heart, you're only going to have the head adjustment. It's about open your heart. And that's really, to me, what Jesus taught me, is open your heart. Open your heart. Don't be shielded. Don't sit around with your critiquing sheet. I can see them a mile away. People with their critique sheet. "Well, I don't like that. I don't like that. Did you? Well, you didn't like that. Did you enjoy it? I don't know. Was that good theater? I don't know. What do you think those people want with us anyway? I'm not sure." Right. They're being real nice to me these days. I think they want something. I don't know. They're probably in some kind of multi-level marketing thing. I don't know. You understand? A shielded heart. A shielded heart. Open your heart. Open your heart and realize everything is for you. Love everything that wants to love you. Be in that space. I have that app, Nextdoor. Is this resonating with you at all? Because they're telling me I have just a few more minutes. So anyway, I have that Nextdoor app, and I love it. I love to hear about, they're looking for the pet, or, you can get this guy to take you to the airport, and and somebody's selling encyclopedias at the door. I don't think they do that anymore, but anyway, they're selling magazines or something. Anyway, it's just a great app, but a person wrote on there and sent a picture of just a frog. How many of you have ever seen a frog? How many of you have ever been eaten by a frog? Ever had a frog like fall on your head and not let go, right? So there's this big picture of this frog. Have you seen this kind of frog? Are we okay? Is it invasive? What kind of frog is it? And so I lovingly write back with my comment just to say, in Florida we have frogs, we have lizards. We have them. Please don't interrupt the circle of life. Don't bother them. They won't bother you. Please leave them away. It is us humans that are invasive, not them. It's us as humans that are invasive, not them. We must realize and teach people in our teaching, which was one of the greatest loves of the Fillmores, was nature. They loved all of nature. And at Unity Village it shows. But we must get back to loving all the things that the Creator has that's for us. Not against us, but for us, our well-being, and for us to experience this great joy. We teach meditation here and prayer. To clear it, there's no wrong way you can ever do it. Your intention makes it so. And we go all into these, there's courses that if you do it right, then these things happen. Prayer and meditation never changes creation. Who does it change? It changes you. Prayer calms you. Prayer opens you. Meditation is your experience. There's no wrong way to do it. That's back at that old paradigm of the little boy asking God to bring the broom off the porch. It's about your evolution. It's about your finding this space that allows you to be open, to be resurrected, and to not sabotage your goodness and what requires you to have your heart open. It could be walking to amazing music, but you allow the in me to occur in your life. Otherwise, it's just great, blah, blah, blah. If you don't show it, then what's the point? What's it for? Is to live and move and have your being in that universal presence. And so it becomes in you, and you pray to change your mind. You're not changing God's mind because God is a principle. You're changing you so you can receive it. It's like wanting to listen to the oldies but goodies, but being on the classical radio station. Won't happen. It's tuning you in, you see, so that God can be experienced as you. You come to a place that you don't need to separate anymore. Stop separating. We've started to separate again. Are you wearing a mask? Are you not wearing a mask? Have you been vaccinated? You're not wearing a mask. Are you gay? Are you straight? Are you black? Are you red? Are you white? Separation. Can we not just be all who we are? Are we being invasive? Are we being invasive? What is happening is we went to sleep just a little bit. It's okay. I don't mean that judging. I mean, I was there with you. We all went to sleep. It's like, do not leave your house. Do not smile. Do not go to the mailbox unless you are a witness that nobody else is out there. Do not open your Amazon box with anything that you plan on reusing again. We didn't know. And I am not making light of COVID at all, please. I am not making light of COVID. But I am urging you to get back to the basics of your life in your humanity. That fear is not the answer with producing and magnifying the Lord and the law that we believe in. Please stop separating and contributing to the separation. Can't you see it happening around you? Shift it. Speak about it. Talk about it. Open up about it. Heal the divide. Heal the divide. Whatever you choose to do that makes you better, good for you. Please allow me to do the same. Whatever that frog needs to do, please allow them to do the same. Please allow life to guide you on your direction of your path and letting you do the same. There's a woman that was traveling, and she kept seeing every morning as she was walking down to the market, she would see the yogi sitting there in meditation. And one afternoon, she interrupted the yogi and said, Is this all you do? He said, What do you mean? She goes, just sitting around. And he said, well, I believe that there are many lifetimes. And in this particular lifetime, all I'm going to do is sit this one out. Right? I'm asking you not to do that. I'm asking you to know that life doesn't work that way. You can't sit it out. You have to show up. You have to be willing to stand for us, for unity, for the message, for what we have. You want more people here? Your job, invite them. You want more to happen in your life? Bring it on. We can take it. You want more love in your life? Look at your face. Are you putting out the love, Bob, or are you going like that? You know what I'm saying? You want it? You bring it on. And I'm saying the same to me. I'm not talking down to you. I'm saying the same to myself. What you're saying you want, are you bringing it? Do you have it? Are you sharing it? Are you willing to take a risk? Are you willing to be out there on the edge? Because this is the reason that we were reincarnated this time, my friends, is for this experience that we are having to create this resurrection, to put unity on the map. Lord knows it's long overdue. It's time. Don't sit it out. Be in your power. God bless you. Thank you. Going to the coffee shop per week per family is at least $72 to $85 a week. Therapy is $100 to $250 per week or per appointment. Dinner out is $65 to $110, and that doesn't even include the alcohol. Theater for entertainment, 2 people, $80 to $132, and that does not include the cost of dinner before. First Unity, a place, a beacon, a lighthouse, the heart of this city and the heart of this nation and of this country and of this world, teaching people to awaken and live their empowered and amazing selves. First Unity, that gives you food, spiritual food, that can transform you from the place you are to the place you long to be. First Unity, the teachings and the tools that allow you to let go of addictions and habits and things that are in your way, so you may be free, so you may fly, so you may live boldly and brave and loving right from the core of your heart. What is the value that you place upon such a place?